Oh, Foxy, it's your birthday. Not for real, just for play. This is Cree Summer, and Moana Nui will be right back.
Good evening and welcome to our December edition of Moana Nui After Dark presents Whatcha Watchin. Here is my wonderful panel. Ladies, how are you doing this evening?
It's me.
Oh, tonight we will be discussing at first Wicked. Will be our first thing. So as usual, for every show that we do for our Whatcha Watchin series,
Spoilers!
your only warning.
Yes. If you have not seen Wicked, you're about to have heard all about it. If you have not finished Cross, first of all, what you doing? Secondly, you're about to break it down. Cross been out for a minute. Y'all should have been done seen that.
Wicked been out since Thanksgiving.
Wicked been out for 10, 15 years since the book came out. When was that book?
Let me tell you how bad
you got the book, you got the play, you got the movie, and we're spoiling all three.
All of them.
So if you've only seen the movie of Wicked and you like, ooh, what are they going to do in part 2? You're going to find out tonight. All right, so let's get started. If you're new to...
This came out in 95. Wicked came out in 1995 as a book.
As a book. Okay, I graduated high school in 95.
Right, so you've had plenty of time. Yeah, because that's right. There was a sequel called Son of a Witch, which was about her kid.
I'll be right back. Hold on.
Spoilers, she has a kid.
So for those who've been under a rock, Wicked is a story basically encompassing the before, during, and after of The Wizard of Oz, in which the main characters are Glinda and the Wicked Witch, who's named Elphaba.
Mm-hmm.
And Elphaba's name is given as the sounding of the initials of the writer of the Wizard of Oz.
L. Frank Baum. Yeah, yes. Elphaba. Mm-hmm.
Elphaba. So that's how her name comes about. Where does anyone want to start? I'll just open it up there. As far as what we thought of the movie, those who have read the book, or even seen the play, where do we want to begin? The beginning, the middle, something that stood out as far as this movie adaptation?
Where is this feedback coming from?
I don't know. No, Teresa, no.
I don't hear anything, so maybe it's me.
No, not coming from you, Simone.
Okay.
All right, yeah, it is.
I see Teresa. Oh no.
All right. Just to start, I'll start. This play, this movie, the book, everything else. In a nutshell, it is a perfect example of what we know about the history of this land, Munchkin land, whatever you want to call it, is wrong. And we have bought into the propaganda that's been spewed by the media. Like, if you want to look at it that way, everything we know about the Wizard of Oz and, Dorothy and being a nice young girl who's just trying to get home and all these kind of things. And then discovering that, what if the wizard was a jerk? What if the wizard was a dictator and all he did was manufacture an evil for other people to gang up on and take out? What if you saw people's rights getting stripped away right in front of you? What would you do? And ironically, we are living in these end times right now. So
it's too real. It's too real.
It's too real. And I like that it is both intimate and abstract at the same time. You're like with the goat who was the professor.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Here is a minority status person who has reached the level of educator in this land, and then we see him get mistreated. We see him, we see slurs put all across his chalkboard. They're taking away his voice, literally taking away his voice. So for people that are familiar with the play and the book, you know that the animals with a capital A, the same way we capitalize B when we talk about Black people, the animals with a capital A are free-thinking, educated parts of society, but people start to turn on them, start to talk about how cages are good for them. and how they are a danger. And slowly if they don't use it, or if there's some weird subversive magic going around, they start losing the ability to speak. They're losing their voice because no one else is standing up for them. And they're getting taken down one by one. So for me, when I read the book, that was the part that captured my imagination the most was, I'm feeling kind of like a goat right now. Like, people taking your voice and saying that you're not important. And even though you've reached even though you've reached the point where you are revered in certain circles, you still just an animal, right? Lower animal. And you should be caged like one. Like it's wild. And that's just the first 20 minutes.
So in the book, he was killed. In the movie, he wasn't. But in the book, he was. Oh, you slipped. Something broke, and he slipped and cut his throat. But that's what set Elphaba off,
kind of thing. Like we see all the Black activists coming out of Ferguson just slipped and set themselves on fire and shit. Yeah, same thing.
Joy, you mentioned something in the beginning. What if the Wizard of Oz was a jerk?
Mm-hmm.
I don't see that being a what if, because even watching every adaptation of just the Wizard of Oz, the wizard is a jerk. So,
yes, but he is an affable jerk in the Wizard of Oz. And in the Wiz, he doesn't cause any ill will. He doesn't cause any malice. He's just goofy and caught up in a position where he's trying to make the best of it because he doesn't know how to get home either. Matter of fact, if you watch this particular, and it may be in the play too, but this whole thing about the prophecy and the reading of the book and blah, blah, blah. When they first talk about the wizard coming and he could read the book, you hear him say, Omaha. You from Omaha.
You from Omaha.
And you couldn't read it either. He's just a snake oil salesman. Well, he's a traveling salesman in a balloon that got swept up. Did anybody else catch? Man. Huh?
Con man.
He's a con man that was selling green liquid at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
It's important to the plot. Yeah.
It's important to the plot because
that's Elphaba's daddy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a big.
Because that's how this movie starts off, with a prologue of the ending of the Wizard of Oz, with all of the Munchkin land and citizens around Oz celebrating the Wicked Witch is dead. Glinda coming down to say, yes, but I have to go off and see the wizard. But then someone coming from the crowd was like, you knew her. Y'all were friends.
Was she your friend? Yeah.
Right. It's like,
she's like, I mean, yeah, I knew her.
Because you can see it in her face when they're all singing. She's like kind of singing reluctantly. Like, y'all a little too happy for someone who's dead. I mean, she was kind of like, she was a person. She wasn't as bad as y'all said she was, type thing. Like
and I think in part 2, you're gonna see why her face looks like that, because she does redeem herself. She's a mean girl. She's a bitch. She's mean. But
I mean, Glinda's a horrible person.
she does redeem herself in part 2, and then you'll see why her face is like that. Like, oh my God, you're burning my friend. You rolling her out, and so you'll see it. We'll get to that close to the end. I'll spoil that for y'all at the end.
I mean, everything's getting spoiled tonight. So and it goes on her telling the story of how she actually met, what her childhood was like, which is basically the prologue of the film. Then the credits roll, and it's like, we actually met in school.
Yeah.
And then it just runs from there. I don't know if I could have survived being Glinda's roommate, because we would have had a funeral for Glinda after about 3 days.
I don't know how they shot some of those scenes without dying laughing. Like when Elphaba's laying on the floor looking up and Glinda's like backstroking around her on the floor, just moving around in her little pink outfit. Girl, if you don't sit your little pink ass down somewhere. I was so sick of her. I was so sick of her.
They said it. They had fun. They said, and so all of the people that came to audition for this, I believe they picked the right people for every single role. Yes. There was nobody else that you can say that could have played. I'm not even talking about Elphaba. I'm talking about all the other ones. Miss Marble.
Mm-hmm.
That you had Jennifer Lopez. What the fuck?
Jennifer Lopez.
Yes.
No,
No, you
Ma'am.
you talking about you had
Michelle.
girl,
No. Jennifer Lopez tried for her role.
Tried
I
out.
thought she was saying she was in the movie. I was like, no, she
No.
wasn't.
She tried for her role. All of these
Okay.
people who tried for the role, and then you had the ones that was in Glee trying for the role. Now, I love Jessie J because she can sing, and y'all know what that means.
Mm-hmm.
She can sing, but ma'am, you are not on the same level as Cynthia. You're not. And I was seeing people in that was stuff that was scrolling through my feed, or Jessie J could have been excellent, and no, she wouldn't have, because it was Cynthia and Ariana who said, we're going to sing this live. They brought that to the director, saying, let's sing this live. It's better than singing it and then playing it later. So I don't think any other actress would have said that.
Absolutely not.
I don't think any of them would have said that.
It definitely adds to the immersion that you feel watching the movie, because they are singing it. They're not just lip syncing like you can feel it. You seeing the strain in the neck on some of those. Yeah, they sang that.
Especially with how seamless they go from singing to speaking, especially Elphaba and Glinda throughout the entire films, interacting with each other mostly, because they sang like 2 or 3 different songs during scenes just in their dorm room alone.
Hang on, Teresa, just because you got feedback don't mean you don't say nothing. Jump in this.
Get in here, Teresa. No. Come off mute. Come on. Get in here.
No, I mean, I don't want my feedback to disturb y'all, but when I want to chime in, I will.
Okay. When you're talking, it's not there, but when you're silent, we hear us through your mic. That's the only thing. So, no, say everything you want.
I don't know why that is. So,
come on, because you was talking about Elphaba before. I think I learned from Elphaba from you.
Well, I mean, I enjoyed the hell out of the movie. It's an amazing movie.
It's emotional. It's definitely.
Yeah, I'm very attached to the book though, because as Joy mentioned before we started,
I don't understand that. I can't.
I read the book years ago, and I was immersed. I love it's. That's what I like. I like dark stuff.
My mind just it was so slow. It's like I guess I was trying to link it to the movie, and I know books are different from the movies, and I know they take different parts, but I saw, okay, this is what happened at this part, this is what happened in this part, and then it went way left, and so then my mind just went, because I'm listening to it in the car, so I'm just whatever, and then it'll bounce back, and it's like I had to go back to see, well, what the fuck happened to Fiyero, because he was killed, but she didn't turn him into the Scarecrow. But how did he become the Scarecrow? I'm trying to see what happened. I'm like, okay, so the guards killed him. He was following Elphaba. Then what the hell happened to him?
You can't really equate it to the book. I mean, yes, there was a book, and they made the musical stage play from the story in the book.
Yeah, I know they turned
deviated. It's like loosely based on.
Yeah,
because the book is about Elphaba, and that's another thing. Elphaba is my girl. I rides for Elphaba because I'm so attached to that book. And they made the musical, and they had to make it about Elphaba and Glinda, and so that's why they strayed so much from the story in the book. And I understand that. But as for me, I rides for Elphaba. I enjoyed the musical and the movie though, and I think Ariana knocked it out of the park.
She did. That could be.
That's still a bad guy character though. So while everybody, even as I was watching people going into the movie theater in their little pink tutus and stuff, and I'm like, y'all haven't read the book.
No,
she's a bad guy.
You haven't seen the play either.
Hadn't.
That's another thing, like just going back to, this racist country, is people going in not knowing what it's necessarily about and wanting to be Glinda the good witch, because Glinda is the good witch. She's the pretty one. She's pretty. She has to be good. And then discovering that she is a trollop, like just the worst of the worst mean girl ever. And then to have the real hero be the wicked witch, or what we thought was wicked. She's actually an activist. She's actually good. She actually wants to help save the animals and all this other kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And she's played by a Black person. And white folks, don't matter how bad their life is, they're not going to be Black. And so for them, it felt like this movie version shut them out of part of the fantasy because they can't be Elphaba, even though they absolutely can if they want to. But she's played by a Black person, and so it's tainted now. And they become in real time Glinda over and over again.
You don't even see her Blackness because she's fucking green in
green.
the movie.
Ain't nobody had problems. Zoe Saldana in Guardians of the Galaxy, she was green too. You hear nobody saying shit about that. But it's because they wanted to be her. They wanted to be her, and now she's played by a Black person, and so now it's contaminated. With the best voice ever.
Irony.
Elphaba upsets the status quo.
Yes.
She upsets the positive candy coating wrapper, as Blade would say, that has been pulled over your eyes. It's like, so she's basically trying to pull that illusion away, and she's recognizing that things are not right. Okay, who treated our professor like this?
Right.
Like, y'all don't have problem learning from our professor who is a talking goat, but you see this hateful message on the board, and somebody in this room definitely did it, or knows of how this got there, but no one was wanting to speak up against what was being said. It's kind of like, oh, that's the thing that's happened. Hey, professor, keep teaching.
Right. And that's the other thing about how evil takes over, is because good people do nothing, etc. It's like you got all these students who want to learn from this person. They came to his class, watch him be disrespected and just go, wow. So what's on the test? Like completely disassociated from the fact that this is a traumatic thing for this person, and they should be traumatized too, but they don't even care. And we see that every day.
But also that's his job. So that's his station in life.
Yeah.
Sure, you just walked in and there's slurs on the board or whatever, but you need to, now it's time for you to do your job. So you need to just brush that off. You work for me. Your job is to teach me. So I'm gonna need you to get on that.
F your feelings. That's another thing that about Elphaba is nobody sees through your bullshit like a Black woman. I'm just saying. And like when the cute guy first rolled up, she's like, ugh.
He was taken aback by that. He was like, talking to his horse. I do believe we've been spurned by a woman.
Right. That's never happened before.
Yes, we have. This
And
is a new feeling. Like, what is this?
And when she first got there, she goes, all right, let's get this out the way. I'm green. It is not rub off. Yes, I'm born this way. And she didn't even want to go to the school. And she's the only one in the whole school with magic.
With actual magic abilities, yes.
Okay, but she didn't have that in the book. She was invited to the school in the book, and her sister didn't come until 3 years later. So it's
when it was her turn.
Yeah, because that's what I was wondering about, because I remember watching the play that her sister's not there initially when she starts school.
Right. But we ain't got that kind of time in a 3-hour play.
For a 2-part movie, that's going to be roughly 5.5 to 6 hours total running time. I mean, this is over 2.5 hours, this part one. So,
but I like the way that they did that it's not you, it's the sister, which and again, in the book, the sister had no arms. So it's like completely different from in the play, and then the movies, it's just her legs. So that was freaking me out.
Well, you know what? The play and the movie pretty much focus on the legs because of what happens in the Wizard of Oz later.
Yeah.
So, but I did like, so who peeped this in the movie where the opening address is being given, they're introducing the final 2 faculty members who happen to be animals, the goat, and I forgot what the other one was. But then when it's found out that Elphaba is going to be going to school there, so who is it? The headmistress or whatever, trying to will away her sister. And she's like, no, leave her alone. She can do it herself. But then she snaps and uses her powers. When the objects are flying, they hit the the
The
wall,
wizard,
we were
the
just
wall,
speaking,
and you see
and
all
the
the
wizard
animals. Yeah.
panel falls down to reveal 3 animals holding books like they were
Mhm.
teaching everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh, foreshadowing. I like that.
Yeah, it reminds me of when Hela broke the ceiling in Ragnarok.
Right, yes.
Yes.
Like it's a whole history back here. You don't
Yeah.
know nothing
Know
about.
nothing about, right. And the wizard is basically trying to cover up everything, which later
Critical animal race theory is what it is.
Because the animals are smart enough to know that he doesn't know how to read the grimoire.
Yeah.
So you have to eliminate everybody that's smarter than you. But then you befriend a woman who turns out to really be mean. I'm like, I'm kind of happy that you got your head bashed in the book, but I don't think that's going to happen in the movie.
No, she probably fall down a well or something. Yeah.
No, she just gets arrested. That's why I said Glinda redeems herself. She just she just gets arrested. So I was like, okay, that's fine. I'm happy. you turn out to be nice. You protect her. Tell the wizard to get the fuck out because that was your daughter that you tried to fuck up. Yeah. So yeah. I'm happy. It's like, see this green bottle, motherfucker? You see this green bottle? Oh, yeah, motherfucker, that was your daughter.
Yeah, that's why she did that. I had getting it in with the mayor's wife when he's gone.
Right. And it was like there was no hiding that whatsoever that you knew it was Jeff Goldblum's character who you know was playing the wizard the moment he sneaks in after the husband dips out. Because Mama just like, you know, it's like she's singing a ballad from Chicago or something. Like, okay, hubby's out the door, heads down, shawls off, out. Hey, lover.
Easy street.
Right? So that begs the question, how long has the wizard been there? He's only been there for however old Elphaba is, give or take.
Plus 3-ish years maybe, because I'm pretty sure his takeover wasn't overnight. And I don't, because they really don't establish that there's an Oz, or at least a Wizard of Oz, when he's sneaking in to see the mom.
That's what I just said. He's been there.
No. I'm saying like how many years before?
That's what I'm trying to say is I think that he had just gotten there because he's just traveling salesman trying to figure out what's going on, catches a pretty lady's eye and decides he's going to go get drunk on green fluid or whatever and get some that night. And that's the night she got pregnant. And then Elphaba, when we see her again, she's what, 24, 25? Or even if you want to say 16 when they get to that school. So
right.
he got there 16 years ago. Pretty much around the time she was born, because to your point, he may have been in power for the last 10 or 12 years or so, but he came to power while she was, learning her little
early years.
Yeah. But I think because that's the same story they tell in The Wizard of Oz, is that he got blown over the rainbow at some point and couldn't figure out how to get home. And so, yeah, here we are all over again. Apparently somebody gets blown over the rainbow like every 20, 30 years. You'd think they would figure that out by now.
But yeah, just passing off the gaslighting everyone. Like when I got here, the place was in chaos. Why? Because where you come from, animals don't talk, and in this world, animals are on equal footing with the humans, if not smarter than the humans.
Brought his prejudice with him too.
And you basically corrupted the corruptible, basically every two-legged Nimrod walking around there.
Do you think he got into power when Madame Marble, before she became Madame Marble, while she was in Shiz? And that's how the wizard and her linked up, and then he corrupted her, and then they just been trying to find, because she said she couldn't read the grimoire. She only knew a few words. She has power.
Right? She's one of the only people
but she doesn't have power like Elphaba.
And that's the other funny thing. You have this school. I guess the school is basically just a front to find people with power, because again, as I said earlier, literally nobody in the school has any power whatsoever.
They think magic can be taught.
Right. Aside from Marble and Elphaba. That's it. Glinda's coming in thinking like, oh yeah, this would be a breeze, because like she said in the beginning, like, I'm not getting my way. This is odd. Someone carry me. I need to lay down. Like, And because she's going there under the assumption like this would just naturally happen. I'll get into Madame Marble's private lessons. The magic will come naturally. Oh, she gave me this wand because Elphaba said, train her or else. So, it's like, okay, I got this wand. So now obviously I can use magic. Like, you haven't done any reading of spells, practicing or anything. This is not how it works.
Everybody think they can get rich quick.
It's pink privilege.
That
Big privilege.
She embodies privilege.
That part where she realizes after Madame Marble told her, hey, I have to take you into my class. I don't want to, but you need to thank your friend because she's the one that said
got you in,
you in this class. And she's here now. But that's after you already made fun of her, making her wear your grandmother's hat and be like, I don't hate anybody that much to do it to. Come on now. Oh, come to the ball. Come to the parade. Wear this hat. It goes great with your wardrobe.
But that was, and look, it wasn't selfless, but she basically did get the ball rolling by having to do the dude from the Munchkin Land who eventually becomes the Tin Man, who was fawning over her like, hey, it'd be a good idea if you ask that young lady over there in the chair to go to the party tonight. And that wasn't selfless. She just wanted that dude out of her face.
Yeah.
But it got Elphaba's sister into the social mix of mingling with literally everyone else because
the pretty people. Yep. And she got her little boo thing, or so she thinks.
So she thought.
She starts to recognize it by the end of the movie.
Well, she recognized it soon enough, so she caught on.
Yeah, because once, okay, so that part is not in the book, or I skipped over it, but the play, once she turns her shoes to help her walk, something happens. Oh, she tries to read him the grimoire and she can't, and she turns him into the Tin Man because
it's an accident.
Yeah, he's just doesn't want to be with her anymore, or he does want to be with her.
To like stop him from leaving, I think.
Yes, because she can walk. And he's like, okay, so you don't need me. Let's go. So that's how he becomes the Tin Man.
We need to talk about the fact that Elphaba's sister ain't shit neither. Like,
she truly is the witch of the East.
I mean, your big sister's basically been looking after you, helping you, basically defending you. Like, hey, she can do all this stuff on her own. She doesn't need to be coddled or falling after. Like, I'm here for it. She even threw rocks at kids who were making her uncomfortable because they were teasing they were teasing Elphaba. It had her crying, and Elphaba sends the kids running. Like, and you still, because you want to be part of the in crowd. And it's like, again, you have no power, but yet you were invited to come to the school.
So if I could put my woke cap on once again, this is the same thing you see when you are part of a group that has been outcast or exiled, like Elphaba, and your cousins over here, your sister, your other people that also have some other physical or visible thing that stops them from being included. When they feel like they can get in a little bit, they turn their back on you, right? And matter of fact, they turn you into the cops. Because she's the one that, part 2, you'll find it out. But anyway, all of this. I'm super spoiling now. I'm spoiling.
That's what we're here for.
They hate you more than anybody else because you remind them that they are not, in fact, part of the cool crowd that they are perpetrating, and you being a constant reminder that they will never be accepted pisses them off, and they hate you even more. Allegory.
Oh, indeed. Teresa, thoughts? Nothing?
Everything is emotional. The songs, it's just...
They could have kept a couple songs, though. Not every one of them needed to be as long.
I did feel like they were, like, I was like, okay, this is part 1. I remember the play. Obviously, it's a musical. I'm like, there were more songs in part one of this movie than there were in the play. I really feel that way.
What song you didn't?
Y'all just aren't used to musicals.
I will admit that I am not. Look, I have seen very few musicals. I can probably count them all on one hand. The number of musicals that I've seen. Musicals in the movies. I don't think Chicago had this many songs. and I love Chicago for the obvious reason, but
Chicago had a couple songs that could have been shorter too, though.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what I've heard everybody complaining about in this movie is mostly the song in the library.
That's the one.
Right. But I enjoyed it so much because, James, as you mentioned a while ago, I think it was you, someone said that everyone was cast perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody did a great job. And I think Jonathan Bailey just killed it. He nailed the spoiled, rich, good-looking prince.
Yeah.
It was just so charismatic and so rakish that I was into that song. And I enjoyed the fact that he was charismatic and, rakish with everybody. It wasn't just the women. He wasn't just going around.
Oh no, he had the men falling all
When the
over
women
him,
under
too.
the chin, it was everybody. It was the girls and the boys. That he had the librarian ready to risk it all.
Yes.
Shout out to I just had his name, Bowen. Owen, what's his name? The Asian dude from Saturday Night.
Bowen, yeah.
Okay. I know what you're talking about.
I
love him.
That sounded insensitive, but it's one of those Bowen like Wang or
Bowen Yang, yes.
Yang, yes. Bowen Yang did. It's gonna rhyme. I'm sorry, Bowen Yang. He did his thing.
He did his thing.
Didn't mean for it to rhyme, but it did.
Oh man, yeah, because it could have dealt without that scene, but I don't remember in the play if he got that much character development as he did in this film outside of, because the play, if I recall from the play, it pretty much is just like he was eye candy and the love interest or he was interested in, and that was it. Like outside of that, there was like no reason to pay attention to him in the play. And the movie did give him a little bit more depth, and again, towards the end, where Glinda, when Elphaba was about to get on the train to go to Oz, she's like, where's your dude at? Like, I know he's with you, but I thought he'd be here, on your arm or whatever. It's like, yeah, I don't think he's the one anymore because he started thinking, like, what the hell? So that whole dynamic. And that's the other thing. The assumptions that go on as far as people's feelings towards each other. Because obviously
we're getting married.
Right. After one meeting, we're getting married. He doesn't know yet, but we're getting married.
I mean, let's not act like we don't know them people.
Yes, unfortunately, I have met those people. I don't know those people now at this stage of my life, but in college, yeah, I did know those people.
Right. And they're 20-ish years old. So
fair. But like him going after Elphaba was pretty much a blow, like him trying to regain his ego, so to speak. Like, I've never been spurned or turned down before. This is new. How do I win her over? But then at the same time, his connection with Glinda is just so natural because they're both shallow and fickle people. So they're connecting on that level. And then you have the Munchkin dude who's in love with Glinda and is like one of the probably the only person there who actually steps up and says, I like you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's cute. But go talk to that young lady over there. That would make me really happy.
Right. If you invite her, just get away from me. And just all the chaos that is caused from that one thing.
All of this, just between the five of them, because now the younger sister's like, oh, this boy really likes me, told her father about him. And dad's like, she's the most precious thing to me. Because again, why care about, obviously he knows or at least it feels like he knows that Elphaba's not his biological daughter. Like, at least the way he acts is like, I deal with her because my wife gave birth to her. But at the same time,
I think it's just because that she's green.
Yeah.
I mean, in the book, he loved her, but he didn't love her.
Does he find out before dying?
No.
He's oblivious.
She sings well, and that was the one thing that he enjoyed the most from her.
Okay.
Is that she was able to ease him and sing to him and just relax him from that.
But he's willfully oblivious in the book.
So he does have some idea. Okay.
Right, because neither one of the girls is his.
Oh. Okay.
But because
the youngest daughter was his.
Is a more normal color.
Yeah.
He can ignore it and he could try to pretend, but he knows that neither one of them
are
his.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Dang, that's just another layer of manipulation. But the point I was trying to make was the younger daughter, like, when a woman introduces a dude she's into to her father, that is a big freaking deal.
To marry this man. Yeah.
That is a big freaking deal. So like you said earlier, Simone, like, yeah, all this chaos, all because Glinda was like, go talk to that young lady in the chair because that would make me the happiest person in the world. And it's like, so now you're only courting this young lady because you think this is going to get you in with Glinda. You basically establishing an entire relationship with a whole nother person because you're still pining over the person whose attention you're trying to get.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, the one y'all that read the book, Joy, Teresa. No, okay, so you read the book. Have you listened to the Audible or you read the book?
Read the book.
Okay, so I did. Okay, so Teresa, because I only listened to the Audible. Have you ever watched what is it? It's Third Rock or no? It's not Third Rock. I can't remember the show. Sheldon, the character Sheldon.
Big Bang Theory.
Big Bang Theory.
Okay.
That's who Alpha reminded me of, a female Sheldon, because Sheldon he had no sense of humor and he just said whatever came to mind. He was blunt, and that's how she was in the book. Listening to it on Audible, she just said whatever. And when people were like, "Oh my God, you can't say that," she was like, "Well, why not?" This
overly honest.
Yeah. She was. I'm like, I can't get past that. That just hit me in the face. I was like, "Damn, that's Sheldon." That was like female Sheldon. I was floored. I'm like, okay, that was good.
Yeah, but she felt more socially awkward, where Sheldon is socially inept.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking. Sheldon's, to me, I didn't watch much of that series, but I used to know a guy who just loved it, so I would watch it with him sometimes. But Sheldon seemed to me to be more like autistic.
Yep.
Kind of. Whereas Elphaba's, to me, it seemed like stemmed out of social awkwardness. And it's interesting, though, to hear different people who have read the book or, experienced it in some way, to get their different takes on it. Because, like I said, I read the book and I just instantly loved it. And that is because I empathized. I saw myself in Elphaba, in her ostracism and her social awkwardness. She was, and it's not even like she was one of those green people. She was the only green person.
Right.
So she felt like she was out there on an island by herself. And I have felt like that for a long time myself. So, I took to her, and that's why I'm so just attached to this character. And then to hear other people's takes on the book, and they're like there's a nerd group on Facebook, and one of them was like, "Well, has anybody read the book? I hate Elphaba. She was just a bitch. She just cussed everybody out, and she blah, blah." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, How dare you?
Right. Did you?
I
That's
loved
my
her. I
girl.
thought she was.
Excuse me.
I adored her in the book. I thought it was fun. To me, it's just again Sheldon. I was like, okay. Every time she was saying something, I laughed. I giggled. I adored her.
And I don't see how you can help Elphaba because she genuinely wants to be a part of the social activities and ongoings around her. It's not like she's standoffish and like, you all are beneath me. Like Sheldon is just like, I'm the smartest person in the room. Hell, I'm the smartest person on the planet. The rest of you are beneath me. You're probably fighting for like a distant 10th because the next 6 people under me are like Nobel Prize winners type thing. And I don't care to be down on your level. Whereas Elphaba genuinely wants to make some type of connection. She wants to connect with people. But yeah, when Florio starts basically taking an interest in like a genuine interest, is like ignoring everything that stands out about her, is like, okay, you're green, so what? I'm here and I want to get to know you. Like, oh, well, this is different. This has never happened before. So her trying to navigate that. Even when Glinda like turns over and is like, hey, let's actually be friends. You know, once Marble gives her the wand and tells her why, is like, okay, like maybe I've had her wrong the entire time. So let me genuinely try to be friends. And they start building that connection. She's still kind of taken aback, like, oh, you're serious. You really want to be friends. I thought you were just playing with me again. So
I like to see how they're going to do part 2 because it's like they went to Elphaba never came back from Emerald City. Again, I have no idea why the fuck they went to Emerald City in the first place.
they were summoned by the wizard because Marble or Marbury?
No, in the book.
Oh, in the book. Okay.
It just didn't, because it jumps from you know, you see one thing and you're getting it, and then it just goes way left, and then my mind just went. So I had no idea why, but I'm just trying to figure out how they're gonna. Is it gonna be Fiyero finding Elphaba later on and then having an affair with her, because he goes off and he gets married, has children. Glinda gets married in the book, and then, you know, they having an affair, and he knows how to wash her and use oils to take care of her. You know,
Right.
again,
The water thing is real.
afraid of water. She can't stand the water. I mean, her teeth she was biting people's fingers off, and that's why I was like, this shit is dark. I can't believe y'all.
The baby instinctively knew she didn't want no parts of water. So when they tried to give her a bath, she was biting people.
Huh. Okay.
So yeah,
her baby teeth were sharp.
yeah. So once her baby teeth,
But when she lost those, the adult teeth came in more normal. But yeah, that's how they found out that she couldn't handle water, because, you know, she'd be in there nipping, and and so they
a fit trying to get to the water. It's like no.
That's how they figured out the allergy to water or whatever. But Simone, you mentioned when Elphaba left school, she went to the Emerald City to join that group that like, I don't know what you call it, but you remember she joined the activist group.
Yes.
So that's why she was there. And then Fiyero was in town for something, and kept ran across her. You know, he caught this glimpse of green, and of course, who else is it gonna be? So he follows and figures out where she lives and stuff, and, you know, that's when he was trying to get to know her. And then something else he said about the book. Gosh, I can't remember what it was now. It was the teeth, and you said Fiyero went off and got married. He's been married. He was married when he got to school, because you remember the culture he came out of. They married. They were arranged marriages as children. So he's been married since he was like 6.
Lord. Have mercy. Okay.
I forgot that.
You can barely read and write.
Okay. I don't think Glinda would have liked that. It's like, oh, you're not number 1, ma'am. I don't think she would.
She might be number 1, you know. Depends on if he got to go home or not, you know.
She might have been number 1, because he did not like that wife.
Oh man.
I just can't wait. I can't wait for part 2. She doesn't die, people. She doesn't die. and it was just so cute in the book how Dorothy is like, oh, I'm gonna save you because she set herself on fire by accident, and Dorothy just runs to throw water on her to save her, and then it just stops. So that's why I was like, how the fuck did this really end? I had to go back and listen.
Mm-hmm.
But the play, okay, somehow she is hidden, and then her and the Scarecrow run off and live happily ever after.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think that part I do remember, because it's something like she purposely stands in a specific spot because it's a trap door or something that she can like sink into,
Mm-hmm.
because the fire is really not doing anything to her. But
Right. And so like that whole scene from the movie The Wizard of Oz where she's melting,
yeah,
she's sliding down into a trap door.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then guys, you remember in the book that Fiyero actually, that's why I was trying to figure out to go back and see when he became the Scarecrow, because she was like, could that be Fiyero? And then when she tries to bring them, sends her ravens or whatever to bring them in, first it was, one of the flying monkeys didn't go. She did send the flying monkeys, and then the Tin Man killed the flying monkeys. Then she sent bees, and then the Scarecrow took himself apart to protect Dorothy. So, then that's where Elphaba just went crazy. She was like, he's dead. He was on the ground. So I don't have no idea how the hell the Tin Man died, but that's how the Scarecrow ended up. The Lion was the only one that made it with Dorothy to see the witch. And he all of a sudden got courage at the end. He's like, I'm not going anywhere without Dorothy. You're going to have to kill me. So I was like, oh, okay. Well, now all of a sudden you get courage, motherfucker. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't wait for part 2. Just the songs, just everything. I'm just new merchandise.
More wigs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, oh God, saving up money.
So part 2 is set to release next year. Do we have an exact date for next year?
I think it's
November 21st.
Oh my God, so a whole freaking 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
That gives me enough time to save up money, because I'm going to be spending so much money at MegaCon. The stars that they have at MegaCon right now, I think I'm going to hit my maximum, my platinum American Express card. I'm like, okay, do I want pictures and autograph, or just autographs? I don't know.
Yes.
No,
yes.
I can't do both.
The answer is yes.
I can't do both.
Look, in for a penny, in for a pound.
My husband is going to kill me.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
You keep saying that, but you're still here with us.
Because I haven't pushed the limit. I might touch my toe to the fire every now and then. I know. I play with fire. I touched it. Oh, that's too hot. It stung me a little bit. I burnt my toe. Okay, and then I moved back. Can't do it. It's in Orlando, Teresa. It's in Orlando. And on Friday, I get to go to, they're shutting down Universal for us. So from 5 until close, I'm going to be spending all my time in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. I don't give a fuck about the rest of the... That's where I'm going to be spending my time. And then I'm coming back on the 22nd to go to Epic Universe. So, yeah, I'm going to need to save up again.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, this is what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. How we just
blowing through the budget.
Yes. We set a budget and we just set it just for expectations, faking our minds. And then we don't listen to it. Okay.
All right. So before we move on here, final thoughts on Wicked Part 1.
Can't wait for Part 2. Part 1 was amazing. Everybody that had the parts deserved every part that they had. I'm not unhappy with any part. And we're not even talking about Michelle Yeoh enough, because listen up, and then walking away, That clap was thunder because she has the power.
that she clapped and thunder came out.
Yes. Listen up, that Wicket, and then turning and smiling was epic. It's just, that's why it's like nobody else could have done that. I don't care. Everybody who tried on that list, nobody would have been able to do that. No, she can't sing like everybody else.
She didn't need
to.
matter.
She didn't matter. Didn't matter. Just like
I was
Jeff
just about to.
Just like Jeff.
Call it out. Oh my God, she's on Abbott Elementary, and she played Miss Marble on Broadway. Black woman.
Shirley Ralph.
Shirley Ralph was at the premiere of this movie or whatever, because she's connected to the play, of course. And Michelle Yeoh was interviewing her or talking to her with the mic. And she's like, you just have to blind. She breaks out into Miss Marble's song. And all the comments was like, ooh, you dirty. Ooh, that was so shady to sing that song like that in front of the woman that's playing her now. And she can't sing that well. It's messed up with you, Shirley Ralph. How you gonna do her dirty like that? It was hilarious. It was funny to me.
That is hilarious. I'm not gonna go find that interview.
See her doing it. Didn't matter. It didn't matter because Michelle still killed it. She didn't have to sing. She killed it. Mm-hmm. Michelle, you got it. You got a dream, girl.
So iconic. We love to see her. She murders every role she's in.
Mm-hmm.
I think it also, again, speaking to diversity and how certain sections of women who are calling this like woke and whatnot. Yeah, so you have an Asian person. I don't know what Jeff Goldblum is, but he's not 100% white, so we're gonna count him too. You got Elphaba being played by a Black woman. You got multicultural. I don't know what Ariana Grande is either, but again, not 100% like British white. What else is in there? Maybe Italian. I heard at one point. Anyway, it's a lot of people of color all over the place, and to your point, all casted perfectly. Mm-hmm. So when we talk about the power of diversity, if you just decide, no, this person has to be white or this person has to be tall, mm-hmm. you miss out on the person that is supposed to have been cast perfectly. Mm-hmm. And it diminishes the work. This is an excellent movie because it was excellently cast and directed excellently with great source material. It had everything.
Because they didn't go after the it people.
Mm-hmm.
That part.
All of the it people. That's why all of that.
They just try to put Scarlett Johansson.
Fantastic Four is not going to be good because you cast all the it people instead of casting. I know I'm going way left. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. I hate when just because you're hot at the moment doesn't mean that you're right for the role.
Mm-hmm.
Looking at you, Halle Berry.
Leave my girl.
No. We don't do that here.
Leave my girl alone. She's okay.
As far as Michelle Yeoh, every time she comes on screen, I feel like I'm Killmonger in the first Black Panther film. Hey, auntie. Every time I see her, because she just looked good. She just looked better every single time. It's like, I know you like 30, 25 minimum years older than me, but still, like, how do you keep looking better every time I see you on something?
Because Asian don't raisin. That's what they told me. When we have Black don't crack, they told me they have Asian don't raisin. I got that directly from Chinese people. Promise.
Oh God, Teresa, final thoughts on Wicked.
Well, I was gonna say, speaking of aunties, shout out for whoever thought to include Kristen Chenoweth and Idina Menzel.
Oh yes, them in there was amazing.
They were hilarious.
You notice that Chenoweth and Ariana Grande sound similar.
Yeah.
When they sing, I was like, is that Chenoweth singing really? Because I'm like, it just sounded like her. You need to play her mother in something because both of y'all, the voices is perfect. It's perfect. You need to do plays, Ariana. You need to start doing a play. Mm-hmm. And just shout out to Cynthia. All you need is one more for that EGOT status.
What's she missing? The Oscar?
Oscar. That's all she's missing.
Mm.
She might get it.
Yeah, I'm thinking
she better get it. She don't get it in this one. I'm pretty sure she'll get it. Whether it's part 1 or part 2, she's gonna get it. She's getting an Oscar. She's gonna get it. She's gonna have that EGOT status before the end of 2025. I know it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So for our second topic of the evening.
Oh shit! That's probably.
Cross on Amazon Prime about Detective Alex Cross. You okay, Joy?
Mm-hmm.
You sure? You like we caught you at a bad time.
Nope, just got to change my name real quick.
Ah.
But not that.
Oh my gosh. Why are you always like this? So, Cross, 10 episode series on Amazon Prime, about the character written by James Patterson, is it?
Yes.
In a series of books, first played by Morgan Freeman in, yeah, I know. And then by that person we don't like talking about because he really wanted to pay the role and had the money just to buy a script and put a movie together, which I don't think anybody saw unless they were a fan of his.
Yeah, you had to be a fan.
Because I didn't see it. I was appalled that he actually did it and was allowed to do it. But again, when you throw enough money at Hollywood, you can do what you want.
When you have your own studios in Atlanta, you do what you want.
That too. But Aldous Hodge is a young brother who has been getting his due over the last decade or so.
Yes, because he was great in Black Adam.
Mm-hmm.
What was that other? He was a tech geek.
Leverage was the first
Leverage. Yes, I loved him in Leverage.
That was probably his breakout, to which he became known as Alec Hardison, which I still watch reruns of that show to this day.
Oh, me too. Me too. On Prime. Me too. I love Leverage. And then the next one, the next Leverage.
Leverage Redemption.
Yes.
Which they are doing a third season coming next year.
Aldous Hodge is fine as hell. There, I said it. Get that elephant out of the room. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, did you really? Like, can I see your dick? Can I see it? Because you said it's big.
Right.
I want to see it. Show me. I don't believe you. I want to.
So there was more to the show than just him trying to get inside that dude's head in episode 1. But fine. That's where y'all want to start. Go.
He just came in. That's how you shut down a smart ass.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you shut them down. Because what, boy? Oh, okay. You want to get angry? You want us to? You think you can attack us like that? He came in. He was like, oh. That's how I get into your head, dude. You already confessed. You said it. I didn't confess. Yes, you did. You did. You think I don't know Macbeth? You said it. Okay, yeah.
It was a great scene. Great opening scene, too.
It really was a great opening scene. Just to set the tone. And the fact that, so he's basically the smartest dude in the room that can pretty much diagnose everybody else because he's got a doctorate in psychology, but refuses to get help himself because his own demons pretty much cause him problems throughout the entire season up until the final episode where he apologizes to his best friend, which is where my tag is from. So... And shout out to everybody who didn't realize that upon first seeing his best friend that it was the Old Spice man.
I did not see that.
Everybody.
I did not notice that. You know, he looks so different. He gained like 20, 30 pounds.
Sorry, Teresa. You're one of the few people who knew. But I don't see how people...
They made a joke about smelling like
I didn't know. I had no idea until well after I had finished watching it. And somebody else mentioned it. I was like, that's where I've seen him from. I had no idea.
I know he was in something else that I've seen a few years back. I can't remember off the top of my head what it is, but he's been in other things that I've seen before. So when I saw him, I was like, he looks familiar. He looks familiar. And I think it's like episode 2 or 3 when they make the quip about, you always smelling like mothballs and Old Spice. I was like, that's where I know you from.
And that was ad-libbed.
I'm sure it was. The best lines almost always are.
Yep.
But he's got his best friend, family. The show is pretty much set a year after his wife's murder.
That's why I call myself Cross's mistress and not his wife. Because she dead.
So the brother's dealing with multiple things all at the same time. And some things he's dealing with well. And his personal life, I'm not going to say it's in shambles, but him personally, him dealing with himself is in shambles. His family life is teetering. His love life is, I won't say strained, but it could be.
Who was the lady in the episode? I guess she started. I noticed her in 3 because I was not watching 3 and 4. That's the
one
girlfriend?
that's the girlfriend.
The dark skinned lady with the short hair?
Yes.
Yeah, the one that brought him to the family.
Yeah.
The surprise. Okay, that's okay.
Yep, that's the girlfriend. So they had only been dating like a few months at this point.
I'm about to say we need to talk about the girlfriend too because I'm so over her. I need him to break up with her. She got on my nerves.
She did cross a line at one. I won't say she crossed a line, but she did kind of like overstep.
Habitual line stepper. She crossed the line several times. First of all, we don't know each other like this, man. I don't owe you nothing, no explanation about nothing part of my life. Fuck you. And then the whole, I thought it would be fun. I told every motherfucker in this room, I don't want to do this goddamn karaoke. And then you gonna conspire with my family behind me to push me to doing some shit I ain't want to do. Then it goes left. That's on you. I'd have broke up with her that night.
I hear you. I feel you. I understand. I could let that slide. What I couldn't let slide is when, okay, you're dating a detective. He all of a sudden shows interest in going to some birthday party of a dude he don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And you see him sparring with this dude verbally back and forth. If you that slow, you can't put one and one together that he thinks there's something going on with this dude and you want to get offended afterwards, that's on you.
Break up with her.
That's pretty much where I broke up. Because like, again, I don't have to tell you what's going on with my investigation.
I'll tell you where you break up with her. That dinner party at her house. Girl, fuck you. I'm out.
Oh, yeah, the dude who challenged him for being a cop in black. Yeah.
I don't know if you've made it there yet, but where's
I'm on 4. What episode was that?
I don't know. Ooh. But has he gone to dinner at her house yet?
No.
I didn't think so because
that's like 5 or 6.
Yeah, you're not far. But when you see it, you'll understand completely. But you don't just let no other dude in your house disrespect the dude you dating like this. Like the fuck, how you and then kind of like agree with him. Nah, girl, you
who's that dude?
And then let him go on, just continue, go on and on and on. I wanted to slap her and him.
Right.
Was that her brother, her relative, her uncle?
No,
or
just another friend. They had a dinner party at her house. And it's just a bunch of her friends, and him and his partner were getting introduced to all of them. And this dude goes off about how cops suck and everything, and then she just lets it happen. Right there. You can't be no cop's wife if you're gonna let somebody talk about me like that, girl. By giving back them shoes I bought you too.
I mean, obviously, he knows the dynamics of being both a black man in America and a police officer in this day and age, right? Because he chose this. So he is fully aware. Again, he introduces himself detective, but everyone knows he has a doctorate in psychology.
Yeah.
So I fault him a little bit for dropping to that dude's level to even have mental gymnastics with him, because it was so beneath him at that point.
Which one are you talking about? The main dude?
At the dinner?
At the dinner, yeah.
Oh yeah, but he was already in a bad headspace when he got there, so he wasn't at his best.
Right. And that's fair because he wasn't in the mood to be there at the dinner party anyway because of what happened earlier in the episode. So he was already like, I'm on an 8, and literally anything is going to push me to a 12. So I get that because he was really, because I think they had like a discussion before they sat down for dinner, like, I'm really not feeling this tonight. She was like, no, you're going to sit down, you're going to have a good time, you're going to. In her defense, she was trying to push him towards taking care of himself mentally, because that was pretty much his biggest failing through the entire series.
Okay, but then you're not going to let somebody sit there and degrade you and degrade your job. Right. If you want me to sit here and relax, how is that going to help me mentally?
That is fair. Again, like Joy said, the dinner's pretty much where you break up with him. But outside the dinner, she was trying to genuinely help him.
She was trying to help him, but she wasn't talking to him.
No.
And I know she was like, I want you to confide in me. Talk to me. Girl, I met you 6 months ago. You tell me shit. I don't know why she felt like he owed her all of these explanations about the history of his life and his emotions. So I feel like from a speed standpoint, he was on par. Like we've met, we've dated a couple times. I kind of like the way you look. You know, we'll see where it goes. And she's all, share your innermost feelings with me. I don't know you. First of all,
fair enough.
But then to do things that he has specifically said he either is not ready to do or doesn't want to do, you just gonna push it because he needs this. Girl, fuck you. Over and over again. I think I hate her more than anybody else in the show.
Absolutely.
More than the killer.
And that's when I end up screaming at the TV the most. It's unfortunately it's usually women, you know. You lied to me. And I'm like, bitch, he don't owe you nothing. He just
owe you nothing
yesterday.
And
he didn't lie. He just didn't tell you. But he doesn't.
You think I'm supposed to read you in on this undercover operation? Girl,
right.
Break up, lose my number.
I'm just watching TV.
Right. Like, I need you to act naturally. I can't have you fronting. He might think something's off.
Right. But you lied to me. I didn't lie to you. I didn't tell you.
I didn't lie to you. I didn't tell you shit.
Instead of omission, girl, if you don't get all the hell away out here. Again, I hate her more than everybody else.
Right. But
so did he actually break up with her?
She wants him to be her man, but she didn't even take up for him at all.
Right.
At all. She let that dude go in.
Yeah, she didn't do anything to accuse that.
Yeah, you can't hate what I do for a living and think we gonna be, forever couple. Girl, bye.
Okay, so I gotta do hashtag Alex Cross and see what they was talking about on Twitter. If they just like reamed her.
I don't know if everybody feels about her the way I do.
Nah, probably not.
Yeah, I do.
I'm pretty sure they do.
She has. I'm pretty sure she has her supporters. The character has.
He's out there loving her, and then
right.
The rest of us is like.
This is what happens when a good woman comes into y'all life. Y'all always treat her like shit. No,
you're not a good woman. You're just a woman. You think you're good, but you can't determine it for yourself. It's like saying you're a high value man. Girl, get out of here.
Speaking of people who wormed their ways into his life, the friend of the grandmother.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And that's all I'm going to say. Because again, Simone's going to see it, but I think that part has happened already because the son is gifted musically.
Yeah.
Which is from his mom.
Yeah, but
and they're basically just trying to pull that out.
Yeah.
So but
it's sad what happens. So
it's sad what happens, but
because that has to do with the trivial. Never ever. I'll never hear that. Triville. Never ever.
Trillville.
Trillville. Never ever ever the same again. Why y'all do that? Somebody
what
didn't
are you talking about?
Somebody didn't like Triville. I'll never hear that. Triville never ever the same again. A classic. Why y'all do that?
You can never ever get on my level. That's the song they're talking about, I think.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I get it.
I remember now. I forgot all about that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll see because somebody said it's wrong on so many levels. It's like,
It
okay.
is.
So yeah, it should be coming up very, very soon for
I'm about
you.
to say,
Might be in
yeah,
the next
'cause-
episode.
Yeah, that's karaoke night.
Yes, in the hotel.
Yeah.
So once again,
yeah,
I would like to say, I think the show, like Wicked, was perfectly cast.
Yes.
Everybody was just perfect, and that little dude in the hotel ugh, made my skin crawl, as I'm sure he was supposed to do.
Ugh.
The crazy old lady was perfectly crazy.
Yes.
Oh, that other
she hit it-
guy, that
she
Johnny
hit it well.
Rayfield, him.
Mhm.
Oh, here she is. Oh,
But yeah, him bouncing off the wall in the hotel off cocaine.
Right, just coke to his gills. And I love the fact that he's so unserious and yet so dead serious about everything.
At the same time, yes.
Mhm.
and the girlfriend's name was Elle, right?
Yes, Elle.
Yes.
Okay,
Elle.
so I found somebody that hated her.
Yes.
Mhm.
She's like, you really
That
made
the
this
hate
about
consumed.
you. She's like, okay, it's not about you, bitch.
Yes, it's not
part.
about you, bitch.
About you.
And if the actress that plays Elle sees this, know that you are so good that I'm
At
fully
your role.
invested in hating Elle. Because of how well you played that part.
Yes.
You are phenomenal. Elle ain't shit though.
You
And
killed
just
your
know
role
that
well.
the
You
next
killed
time
it.
I see you in something else,
Don't
I'm
go
gonna start
that
out
way.
hating
Like
you.
me and Whitfield, and every time we see you, this is all we think. You gotta play
Right.
something else real quick.
right? You're gonna have to work hard to redeem yourself in that next role.
Lynn Whitfield ain't never played a redeeming woman in anything she's been in.
Say what?
I said Lynn Whitfield has never played a redeeming woman in anything she's been in.
It's because her eyebrows are too far apart and she can only play evil people.
The only halfway redeeming character she played was what was the movie where she was the mother of the bride, and it turns out that it wasn't the bride was not her daughter but her niece.
What?
Oh gosh, what was the thing? It was some type of wedding. It was
I told you had
the daughter that was getting married.
yeah, the daughter that was getting married wasn't Lynn Whitfield's daughter. It was her niece because her sister had her when she was crazy young.
Okay, yeah, I can't remember the name of that.
But it was like the dude's. What's that?
Jumping the broom.
Yes.
Okay.
Jumping the broom. That was the only time Lynn Whitfield played a redeeming character. Because she was basically the on that side of the family, she was holding everything together. But yeah, as far as Cross goes though, but yeah, man, look.
How long are people supposed to not date after their spouse dies? I'm like somebody saying your wife died only a year ago and you're already in a serious relationship.
That's the thing, is it shouldn't have been a serious relationship. I mean, you shouldn't grieve forever. You can if you want to. He's never going to forget his first love, his wife, right. Of course. But it's been a year, things start to happen. You start to want to go outside. And maybe they met professionally, or something. It wasn't like he was out on Tinder or Bumble or something.
Because they never really
but to that point,
idea.
It's not a serious relationship. They are not a couple. They are dating. And so again, It ain't about you, bitch. So all of that, she really was out of line. She crossed the line several times. I don't like her.
Yeah, that relationship is still fairly new. Like the people in his life knows who she is.
Right.
But at the same time, it's not like he was dating her the day after the wife died.
Exactly.
She hasn't been around that long. And and that's another issue because he has not grieved properly over his wife's death.
Mm-hmm.
Because, sorry, Simone, spoiler, the anniversary of her death comes up and he can't go to her grave.
Oh, I'm reading it.
Okay. So you're reading up on everything. Okay, so fine. We can just spoil away then.
I told you spoil. I'm trying to figure out. I told you I got on Twitter. I'm looking Alex Cross, seeing what everybody's saying. Mm-hmm. Somebody has their mouth open saying episode 5 through 7, and her mouth is open.
Yeah,
I'm like 5 through 7. Shit, episode 1 had my mouth open. I was like,
for several
open, trying to see.
Yeah. Oh God, I forgot what I was about to say. Oh, we haven't talked about. So we talked about the little funny dude, and I love the way he said "love cross across." Like I love the way he
Cross,
talked.
cross, yes.
So ridiculous. I was like, "How you that country in DC?" Like, but he did say his people was from the bottom. He said they was from Louisiana. At some point in the series, he says that. Also, we haven't talked about the actual villain, who also was perfectly cast. I loved the look of him. I loved the actor.
Okay, which one? The white one or the black one?
The white one.
The white one.
Okay.
The white dude.
Yeah,
who
I
the
love
crazy
his
guy was basically telling every single time, you need to stop. You need to chill.
Right.
Cross is not an idiot.
But he
will catch on if you keep doing this shit. Like you weren't even supposed to grab this person.
Right. I told you to grab people that nobody would miss, and you go get an activist. What's wrong with you? Yeah.
Right. Told him every step of the way, stop. it like abandon ship, abort plan was even going to 86. One of the last victim he picked up because it was right there in the house.
Yep.
Like look, she got to go. You won't have to find somebody else because they here.
Right.
And if you really want her that badly, you won't have to like pay me a finder's fee.
Yep.
So surprising that cat actually got through all of this. I won't say completely unscathed, but he was probably, aside from Cross, he was the smartest person in the damn show.
Well, that's another thing that I think is given his background and his connections on both sides of the line. Yeah. I can see them using him later as a either an informant of some sort, somebody that every now and then just comes across his path and says like, "Hey, bro, lay cross across. You might want to watch your back tomorrow," or something like that. And he's going to potentially have a role to play as far as getting information on people in the future. I would love to see him come back. I'm glad they didn't kill him off because I think that he adds a lot to the texture of the show. Because everybody's so cut and dry, good and bad, good and evil, whatever. And then you got this one dude that's like got good sense, used to be good, but coked out of his head and might murder you, but also has a conscience. Like he's really complex. I like it.
Chaotic neutral.
Chaotic neutral. That is exactly what he is.
He's chaotic neutral because he's only out for his own self-interest.
What'd you say, Teresa?
I was just going to say that with him pretty much getting off unscathed at the end, I will still never forget him for killing that girl, though.
Yeah.
The activist's sister. I will never, and when he was turning on everybody or whatever and getting his deal, I was like, no, he can't get off. That little girl, she was just as ignorant and naive as she could be, and he just cut her throat, and that was not cool. Not cool.
But that does give me something else to talk about, and it's the Black people on TV's relationship with the police, and with Alex Cross in particular. As much as he had done for the community up to that point, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, you see the one cop that that checks for y'all coming, and you like, F the police. I'm going to run from it. I'm not going to help him. I'm going to hide this. I'm not going to call him, get away from everybody. And the only person that they know of that might have their back in the whole police force is here, and you shun him to go running off and thinking you're going to handle some shit on your own, call a reporter or whatever. Turn that shit over. I mean, I feel like they could have lived if they hadn't been so dead set on not getting help from him, And but it's also indicative of everyday life where, who did something, but ain't nobody gonna call the police because, they'll come and arrest him and 17 more people and they all won't make it home. So it's just not worth it. I get that.
But at the same time, yelling at him like, solve my brother's murder. Okay, right. We're trying to, but you're not helping us. Right.
Solve my brother's murder. Okay, can I talk to anybody in your crew? No. Solve his murder. Can I get some evidence here? No. Girl, you know what? Even later on.
And they got called out for it because his partner called her out. It was like, get out my face. I ain't got nothing to say to you. Like, okay, cool. Like not having your brother's phone.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like they needed that. That would have sped up some things, at least got them one step closer. But no, y'all want to play hot potato with a key piece of evidence that could have got them one step closer to finding the brother's killer.
Right.
But nah, y'all want to hide it, give it to the girlfriend, let her think about what she want to do with it, call a reporter. And you know what? I was actually surprised by the reporter because
the reporter went to Cross.
Right. And that's what surprised me, because as much as that reporter wanted to break a story, the moment she got any piece of evidence, she went to Cross first. Like, hey, I got this thing. Is this something I can run with, or do you need me to hold back?
Again,
and she did that twice.
She got good sense because they are trying to catch a serial killer.
Right.
And in the fresh story, I mean, you got the evidence, whatever. Only you and him know about it. So it made perfect sense. Like, because what if she had run with it and ruined the case behind trying to get a scoop? Yeah. Anybody happy about that? Yeah.
But you have reporters out there in real life, and sometimes they're written in such a way that they will pretty much print the story first, hide their source. Then the cop that they supposedly have a rapport with is asking, where'd you get this information? And then they ain't coughing nothing up. So I like the fact that she was written in such a way to where she is actually trying to be part of the solution and not exacerbate the problem. You know, especially for someone who's like gunning for like the next big scoop to put her name out there to get some type of notoriety. Because I get it. She's got a job she's got to do, and she's trying to put herself in the forefront so that people know who she is. So, I mean, the fact that she dealt with that dynamic, I would say she was probably the most surprising thing of the series, because there were many times I'm like, she's pushing them like, hey, if y'all don't give me something, I'm going to go with this. And then they give her little bitty breadcrumbs like, here's something that you can write, because we need to put something out there just to get either the public turned up or for somebody to at least call us with some information. So here's a little breadcrumb. Yeah, you can run with this. You can run with that. Don't put that out there. You know, we are doing our job. We will give you complete information once we figure this case out. And they did. They gave her the complete story, because even when the main villain, the white dude, serial killer, sent her that book that they initially had in evidence that was stolen, he mailed it to her. She came to him and was like, so I got this in the mail. What am I supposed to do with this? Cross is like, I need you to sit on that for like 24 hours. And don't publish or write anything, but I will tell you everything. Just don't act on that. She's like, all right, cool. Put it back in her bag, walked on out.
And the way they ended that was perfect. We'll try to not spoil it as much as we can, but the way they ended it was perfect, because
absolutely
the way that they decided to handle things, not only does it destroy that whole ego, but it also destroys the religion that was building around it too. Because they'll never know, So anyway, it's very well done.
People that he was worshiping. So they explain why he was worshiping all of the Son of Sam and the Boston Strangler and all of them.
Because he's a maniac. Like, there's no real reason.
You take a body and you recreate the body to look like
it was a cult. And basically he was, obviously you figured this out well before, but it was a cult of people who worship serial killers. For all intents and purposes, he was the figurehead, or if not the leader.
Yeah, he's a cult leader on the underground. Yeah.
And so he had connects of people who were helping him murder each of these people, and then have them basically murder them in the way that these serial killers were killed. Yeah. It's some type of homage or effigy to their great work. And
he worships these serial killers by becoming a serial killer himself.
Yes.
But there was no like trigger event that made him decide he was gonna do this. He had been a murderer, just like they always talk about, watch out for kids that like cut cut the wings off of bees.
Birds,
Yeah, he had been killing cats in the neighborhood since he was an elementary school kid. He just born bad.
Yep.
And then you discover more and more about his history and his past and everything. It helps shape the mind of a killer. But yeah, there was no abuse. There was no nothing. You just the devil is who you are. So
The sociopath. He didn't feel and have any compassion, no feelings to stop him from doing anything. He was a sociopath, so he acted on his curiosity.
And the interesting thing is, if you pay attention to like some of the conversations he has at different points, it almost seems like he became rich just so he could be a better serial killer, have more access to more people.
Yes. Because the way he was getting some of his victims through those dating apps. Yeah. Insane.
And he had his little followers sending him, because it wasn't him that took a picture of that girl. One of his followers with all the guys with the tattoo.
It's like, I have one for you who might fit the bill. Here's the photo.
Yeah, I was like, who is that? When she went and got her coffee and then all of a sudden taking her picture. I'm like, why the hell are you taking her picture again? Okay. Well, that makes sense.
Yep.
Just another many reasons that I will never, ever do a dating site again.
Because you don't know who's on the other end. Catfishing is still alive and well.
Yeah.
So I'm also reading that there are people with crying emojis saying it's just one season.
No, Aldous Hodge I just saw a promo yesterday saying that season 2 is already in the can.
I'm about to say.
Yeah, it's already done.
Don't believe the internet. They be lying to you.
I would say don't believe people posting stuff, because people just post stuff just for clickbait and likes.
Okay,
it received its season 2 renewal back in April of this year.
Yay.
And that was 7 months before season 1 arrived. So season 2 got greenlit before they even dropped season 1.
And I'm really glad that this isn't like the Game of Thrones where it builds year on year with this grand overarching plot. It's just, each season is a standalone or could be a standalone search for a serial killer. So that's basically one book. And I think James Patterson has like 30 Alex Cross books. So, similar to Deadpool, you're going to do this until you're 90.
Yeah, he's Alex Cross. He's found his thing.
Yep.
Yeah, and he put it on a dude's shoulder in episode 1. It was great. He definitely had his thing.
He did it. So he'll be doing this. We should be having good many seasons with this.
I also like that they did just enough objectifying of him to entice women without it being like gross and without it being so much that men start to complain about how much nakedness it is. Like, we just got maybe a couple of scenes of him sitting in the shower, a little coming out the shower with a towel on, some chest here and there, and then that's it.
I could have used a little bit more.
So I'm saying, you teased me in episode 1. I need to see shit.
Wait, Teresa, more of who? Alex Cross or the Old Spice Man?
Yes.
Because they got him too.
She said yes.
I'm trying to. How can I put this?
I'm listening.
Okay, wait, what? Alex Cross had
I'm trying to have his brother husbands.
Yes, I want
Alex
brother
Cross
husbands.
and John Sampson.
Yes.
I was gonna say something else. I won't go there.
It's too late.
I'll just leave
Hey man,
it.
we don't kink shame on the show. You do.
No, I've just been thinking since we started that I wanted to be the meat in an Alex Cross and John Sampson.
I understand.
Oh gosh.
Guys. So Alex Cross had sex with his deceased friend's wife? What?
Girl, what are you talking about?
You're reading. Okay, so you're reading the tweet probably from another book.
This was
That may
November.
happen in another story.
Yeah, because remember, they're still putting out Alex Cross books. So that none of them, what you just said, happens in this show.
Okay.
Yeah, none that happens in the show.
Because if you just did hashtag Alex Cross, then you come across all the readers as well, not just the show.
Oh no! And then I went underneath him. The Alex Cross.
Oh, Aldous
they have
Hodge.
his show. So I'm reading all of the tweets under the show.
Oh, maybe he slept with his friend's wife in real life. Maybe it's something Aldous Hodge did.
Oh.
And that's how rumors get started. I don't know. What does the tweet say that you're looking at?
I gotta go back to it.
See, this is why you can't trust everything on social media.
It just makes me want to. Okay, Alex Cross is making love to his deceased wife's friend. Do either of them have any shame? Wow, must be a delta.
Deceased wife's friend.
Wait, are they trying to say that Elle knew his wife? Because that's the only person he gets with on the whole show is Elle, and they did not know each other.
Yes. Well, no. Yes and no. So they knew of each other, but they didn't know each other. Because remember, they make a reference to they actually dated in high school, or at least they were supposed to date in high school, but something happened where one of them got stood up or got cold feet and flaked, and they lost touch for a little bit, but they still kept in tabs on each other. And basically, she was like, "When I had by the time I got the nerve to take my shot, you were already married." Like because they do have that conversation. So it's not like her and the deceased wife were friends.
So yes, that's what I said.
Okay. No, I'm just I'm gonna shut up.
I thought you was going to somewhere new. You came back around to what Joy said. Boy,
yes. What Joy said. Just
hey, look, I'm excited. I'm gonna go finish episode. I'm in the middle of episode 4. He shot him and he fell into the water.
Yeah.
I don't understand why you didn't fake the book and you let them take the book out of the police station, and that's your only evidence.
Because a cop took it out of evidence.
Right, but you didn't switch the book.
They didn't have a need to at the time because they didn't realize.
But they knew the cop took it out. They followed him to.
They knew they had somebody dirty inside.
They didn't know who.
Right, they didn't know who.
And they probably wouldn't have been able to slip a fake in there.
No, I'm gonna rip the pages out. Shit, and stick other pages in.
No, because the guy who took the book out was pretty much one of the primary people in charge of cataloging evidence. Because he was seen regularly every time they dropped something off, or they were trying to get information. So he was pretty much like information IT evidence guy, if you will. Like he had those roles. So they, as Joy said. So
good for him because he got shot.
Yeah,
we never did find out what happened to him afterwards. Like, do we know if he died or not, or
he's alive? He's in jail. He's alive.
Because we never saw him after he got shot, which I thought was kind of weird.
Yeah, well, I would think that if he died, they would at least have done the little ambulance drape over scene as they roll his body away. And then remember, he left his partner with him, so take care of him. I'm following. Oh boy, and took off running. Yeah, he's all right. It was just a flesh wound. He'll be fine.
Yeah,
Kinshana.
Surprisingly enough, though, that was not the mole they should have been worried about.
No. We can't spoil that.
No, we can't spoil that one because that one came out of left field.
Yeah,
the detective. I mean, the chief. Right.
I forgot she's already reading the stuff up on.
Well, in that case,
somebody was like, "Oh my God, the chief of police!" Yeah. So I figured she was doing something crazy.
Yo.
Yeah, the captain.
And it was wild because we kept assuming that it was going to be
the lieutenant. Yeah, we thought it was the lieutenant the whole time because she's acting that way.
So, dirty bitch.
Right. And again, it's one of those things where when you find out why, is one of those things that's like left either left out, left unsaid, or just maybe it was mentioned. We didn't think anything about it because it's just like a normal thing at this point. But we didn't know that she was having trouble trying to conceive a child. You know, her or her partner. You know, they were trying to get pregnant. Because no one mentioned it. It was just, oh, how far along are you now? Like the first time we see her is how far along are you now? She says how far along she is, and kids kicking, driving her nuts, or whatever like that. And it's like, okay, ho hum, and we keep moving on. There's like no dwelling on it or anything like that. But for that to be a thing later as to why she basically almost screwed this entire case up, it is insane. Because again, the mastermind, if you will, because of his position in a senator's office, or at least having worked with that senator and then branching out and doing his own thing, basically gained him access to a lot of powerful people that he would normally wouldn't have had access to. So that was just a whole thing. Mainly also why he was able to stay under the radar, because he had her either derailing or delaying things as they were trying to figure stuff out. So yeah, the call was coming from inside the house. They picked the wrong person initially.
Mm-hmm. And we're not even sure, so that because they never really talk, they never really get into it as part of anything. But we don't even know how many people the bag
really dirty.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Damn near everybody at the dinner party.
Right, but I mean,
yeah, more than that, obviously.
Who else in the police department, right?
Right, yeah.
With some people that wouldn't have been invited to that dinner party. Who else? I don't know. In city ordinance, you know, the DMV. Like, who else he got dirt on?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because he basically was running the city, you know, on an underground.
Yeah, because he had a congressperson, or who?
Yep.
Who did he
the
have?
congressperson he used to work for. Because that's basically how it started.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be like handling her husband and making sure he wasn't doing what he was doing, and was like, yeah, I didn't do that.
Right. Remember when you told me to burn? Yeah, I didn't burn it. And that's how, you know, I got you hooked up on all of this, blah, blah, blah. And so that's why I say, like, he's been conniving and manipulating his way into spaces that give him imply, you know, a lot of power on people, just so he can have the freedom to murder folks at will and get away with it because he thinks he's so fucking smart.
Which not all of them knew about. So, so
Wait,
he had dirt on everybody at the party, but all of them didn't know what he was into.
Right. A couple of them did, because the one guy surgeon. The plastic surgeon, but also that one guy that he introduced Elle to had a tattoo on his arm too.
Arm as well, yeah. The one who's going to fund her project,
her grant, yeah.
So,
as now the cops. Excuse me, just quickly, the cops are all about finding that last victim, finding her alive. We can, you know, she's still alive. We can save her. And my thing was, she's so fucked up now.
Yo, I thought about that too.
There's
sure, muscle out of her jaw missing. You know, they didn't fucked her
teeth out.
He pulled her, ripped her teeth out, and was. I'm like, I mean, I understand finding somebody alive. You rarely do, especially after 48 hours. You know, that's what they say, first 48 hours. But that lady she's fucked up. And she's going to be for the rest of her life. I don't even know if she wants to be alive at this point. But I get it. But yeah.
Yes, because she's never going on a dating app ever again.
Oh no.
She's not leaving the house.
Right. and she'll be double checking to make sure her mom gets her text messages.
Right. That was
She's probably gonna be living with her mom for the rest of her life.
Mm-hmm.
And they ain't going nowhere without her either.
Right.
So, but yeah, that was. And then the other side of this, a case he had worked prior to all of this going down, basically coming back to rear his ugly head and turn his life upside down. The girl he said was crazy and irredeemable when she was basically just sticking up for her brother, adoptive brother, if you will. You know, and that mom pretty much going ape shit.
Ape shit. It was wild. But also it's a great third story, you know?
Yeah. Because she
she
played the long game very well. Like
she had to go to school to get a certification, to get a job, just to get close to that son.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole lot of money invested.
Yep.
If you had this kind of money, why was your kids robbing folks in the first goddamn place? What you doing?
And it didn't even peep that the son was delivering flowers. Like every time they saw the delivery man, it was the son.
Mm-hmm. He ain't even delivering flowers. He's just buying them and putting them in the rag himself. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Looking like a delivery man. The other thing about her, right before she dies and she looks at her, it's not her son. She's looking at like Aldous Hodge or the other guy. They're fighting. She goes, "No, I have to protect my baby." And then that's when you realize exactly how crazy she really is. It wasn't a snap because of what happened to her daughter. She had been nuts, especially around her son, probably since he was born. She was insane. And a terrible mother at that. You know, you didn't raise two criminals and sacrifice one for the other. But that was wild. In what level is this equivalent to say my daughter killed herself because there was corrupt cops in the system, and because of that, I'm going to set your children on fire?
The hell?
That is not easy.
Oh gosh.
Okay, I'm excited to finish. I'll be finishing it tonight because I'm up. I'll be finishing it tonight.
Yeah,
it's good, and the way it all plays out, even when you know what's going to happen, because I've binged it twice. Even when you know what's coming, you still just be like, "Ooh, it's so good."
But you need to re-see a show because you missed something. Because you're so excited about seeing the show, and now you don't have to worry about concentrating on the show. You can concentrate on other things, little
details, little Easter eggs. Yeah. That's what they call them.
Just always go back and watch it 2, 3, 4 times. I'm still finding shit that I've been Harry Potter. That I was like, how long Harry Potter been out? I'm still seeing shit in Harry Potter. It's like, and I've seen that like 8,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
Never enough.
Right. Harry Potter's a whole middle-aged man now.
Tis true. Well, for those who have read the books, any particular story you'd like to see adapted for season 2?
Nope.
Just give me season 2 and let's go.
Well, they kind of there's one book called Alex Cross Must Die, and that's, I want to say that maybe what the secondary plot was. Yeah,
since they said Alex could kill Alex Cross.
That's what I'm thinking. That was already that book, and then the serial killer I don't remember, but I mean he's up there with NCIS as far as and Criminal Minds as far as how he be making up serial killers all the damn time. So I don't think there's a bad book in the bunch. Throw a rock and make another season. That's what I'm saying.
Just grab a book off the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
Don't matter.
Teresa?
I've read several, but the way that my mind works is I don't remember what happened. So I couldn't give you a title of one, but I'm just excited. I'm excited for it to continue. I like what I heard about James Patterson saying that, he's finally got his Alex Cross and he's happy about the casting. And, so I'm happy about my husband's.
Okay.
That's what said he's going to be doing this for a very long time.
Right. My brother husband's. So really, and Criminal Minds is one of my favorite shows. So
yeah,
whatever story they could possibly tell, I'm here for it.
I think that's what also kind of, for me, elevates this type of, I prefer the cat and mouse stories versus the murder mysteries, because just like Criminal Minds, you know who the criminal is when the show starts, because you've seen them commit murder, and then you got to figure out how they get caught. And so that's what's happening the whole time. You know, looking at the serial killer fanboy, looking at the serial killer, and it's one of those I know type of things. Mm-hmm. He's like, yeah, and I know that you know that, and that's why I'm standing behind you right now. Like, it's all great, and they can do this. They can do this till they're 90.
Stop.
Mm-hmm. Like Alice Cross can go on forever. It's like
Jack
Sparrow. Nobody else is going to be able to play him.
And they should shoot these seasons just back. Just keep rolling. Just pick another book up and have Chat GPT turn the book into a script and just keep going. No breaks, because I need him to look this way for as long as possible. Record like 10 seasons over the next 2 years, and then just release them.
Mm-hmm. So he can go off and do movies.
Yes, and we can see him in stereo. It'd be great.
Oh my gosh. Any other thoughts, comments to be said about season 1 of Cross before we get out of here for the night?
No, I'll let you know after I finish watching.
All right.
Yeah. And if you haven't watched it, you absolutely should. It's a great series. I put it in the top 10 of like series that have been released on TV in the last 2-3 years. Up there with Reacher and a few others. Yeah, it's good.
So Reacher season 3 dropping at the end of February. By the way.
I guess I gotta go watch that too. Okay.
Me too, Simone. I haven't watched that.
Because I keep thinking of Tom Cruise every time you say Reacher, and I'm like,
have you seen the guy that plays Reacher?
Mm-mm.
Oh, look up Reacher cast or whatever. He's
Alan Rickson.
What's his name?
Alan Rickson.
Alan Rickson is a big corn-fed country white boy with a barrel chest. Oh my God, that boy look good. It's great.
He was on. I saw a video of an interview he did with Fallon about how he almost didn't get the role.
Why not?
He was a superhero?
Yeah, he was in Titans.
Okay. I'm like, I know him.
He was in Titans as Hawk.
Okay.
And so he was talking about how he almost didn't get the role because I guess when they were doing casting, the pandemic was still going on. So not like he could actually formally go into an interview. Mm-hmm. He was like, well, the character is 6'5", I'm 6'3". I'm pretty sure I can pull that off. So he sets up like green screen in his home or whatever to sit down and do the video interview or whatever. But the whole time he's talking to them for the interview to get the role, all they heard was a loud thumping sound. And they couldn't tell what it was. And they were like, are you wearing a microphone? And he basically had the microphone because his heart was pounding so fast because he was nervous. The microphone was actually on his chest under his shirt. So they were literally hearing his heartbeat over everything he was saying. His heartbeat was drowning out the word because they never heard anything he said. All they heard was his heart beating.
That's wild.
Did you say the character is 6'5" and Tom Cruise played him in a movie?
Tom Cruise produced that movie.
We don't do that here. We don't.
He spent all that money just so he could do that.
Okay, but he didn't do a bad job. He didn't do a bad job. Don't. He did a good reach.
We'll call him like Earth 125 Reacher. Like he is not of this.
He was a Reacher on a different Earth.
Yes, with lighter gravity.
The character of Jack Reacher.
He wasn't Reacher on Prime. He was Reacher on Earth 3.
Yes,
and I do not want to live there. I cannot stand Tom Cruise.
Neither can I, because again, there are two movies I absolutely love. I think would be superiorly better if Tom Cruise was never cast, and one is Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah,
I like that movie.
Edge of Tomorrow is such a phenomenal film, and it's like, but Tom Cruise is in this nonsense. Like, no, absolutely not. No, and no. But the other film I absolutely love is Oblivion with Morgan Freeman, basically, which humanity is basically wiped out. And it's Tom Cruise's character, and I forgot the woman's name, but they're basically on an outpost. And he just goes out scouting to see if there's any other people alive or whatnot. Come to find out they're both clones. Because the aliens actually did win and basically just try to put different outposts around the planet and cloned those two and made them partners at every single station.
Okay, I need to write that down and see that.
But again, they're good sci-fi films.
Mhm.
I just hate the fact that Tom Cruise is in them.
I
Okay.
damn sure don't want to see a movie with more than one Tom Cruise.
Well, they never show multiples of Tom Cruise. They allude to it because Morgan Freeman is in Oblivion. He has a speech about how, they were gearing up to fight back, but when they went to attack the alien ship, here comes hundreds of you coming out to fight us. So they talk about a big battle, but they never show it. But yeah, two wonderful sci-fi films that did not need Tom Cruise in the lead role at all. Like literally any other person in Hollywood could have done those roles justice, and it would have been a better film. But yes, the character of Jack Reacher is 6'5", and Tom Cruise is like
My height.
shorter.
Yeah, he's like 5'5".
He says he's 5'6", but I don't believe that nonsense.
I don't believe it.
Which means he's my height, which is 5'3".
Yep.
Yes. But hey, if he wants to keep pumping out Mission Impossible films until he croaks, let him do that. It's franchise. I will never get into that franchise. I got friends who love it because they said it's good, fun, popcorn action. Congratulations, have at it. I will never get it.
Exactly. I have never seen one.
I've only seen the first film, and I was like, that's enough. So, all right. Anything we're looking forward to for next time that we have seen before we get out of here for the night that we can just tease? There's some good animated stuff that has dropped that is coming out between Castlevania Nocturne Season 2 is coming. Arcane Season 2 just recently dropped.
Arcane was excellent. And I don't see why we can't talk about Dandadan.
Because Dandadan is anime, and I gave somebody a list and she hasn't finished it yet.
You know what? Do life better, girl. For 6 months now. Have you watched anything?
She's had this list for almost a year. She watched 2 things on the list, stumbled into Free Rent, and then just went down a rabbit hole. I don't know what she on now.
I'm watching anime. I'm not watching the things on your list, but I'm seeing other stuff because I'm watching this.
Yeah.
Good. I'm glad you stumbled into stuff that you like. I'm proud of you.
I love Black Clover. I'm waiting on this next season to come out.
Black Clover screaming. I'm like, could you stop?
The next season of Black Clover you're gonna be waiting on for a while. Yeah.
Like you're screaming in my ear. Please.
In both languages. He screams in English and Japanese.
And you got 200 some odd episodes?
Of Black Clover, yeah.
Yeah, there's 200 plus episodes of Black Clover currently right now. Okay. Well, on that note, speeding by.
My bad. Apparently they drag racing outside my door.
I see. So let's call it here for the evening. I will point out, if you haven't seen it, put Tomb Raider Legend of Lara Croft in your Netflix queue.
Okay.
Animated series. If you don't like animation, I understand, but
I'll do it.
It is 8 episodes, half hour each.
Okay.
So if you're familiar with the Tomb Raider franchise in any way, shape, or form, give it a shot. Very well done. Even if you never played the video game. So.
Oh, did y'all see the interview real quick going all the way back to Wicked when you saying Tomb Raider, Angelina Jolie and Cynthia?
No.
They did an interview together, and I'm like, I've got Maleficent and Elphaba together. Oh my God. They were just interviewing each other, and you had Angelina Jolie telling Cynthia how beautiful she was, that she took her daughter and crying, and it's vanity. It's on TikTok. Find it. You'll see it.
All right.
It's beautiful. Just beautiful. There's several interviews that they are doing together. snippets that they have. It's amazing.
Okay. Well, on that note, we will get out of here for tonight, and we will
Spoons
see
for
you
days.
next month for What You're Watching. All right. Say goodnight, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Right.
So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf if they won't tell it, we will.
If this the land of the free, it was a freedom then. When they annexed Hawaii and called it Cedar Lands, without any type of payment and no signing off. Called themselves a republic in 1894. 1.2 million acres overtaken from the native Hawaiians. When they resisted, the West retaliated in violence and erasure. The Hawaiian language is banned as part of colonialism's plan to expand, yeah.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe. As a part of their ongoing war with Asia, used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. The work of all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf if we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf if we won't tell it, we will. We will.
So if you put Hawaii into perspective, well, Black and Asian history is interconnected. Considering the fight with the Pacific, then of course versus Asia, they was treated as a middleman for war, but didn't let the Western colorism run its course. Cause dark skin was a sign of dignity to core. The land was taken in the name of capitalism, when prior to it was an actual kingdom. Clap back at the system.
Stuck between a rock and a hard place. Multiple bombings of Kaho'olawe. As a part of their ongoing war with Asia, used it as a place for target practice. No consent or compensation. Colonizers call for annexation. The work of all the locals. School will never let you know. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf if we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf if we won't tell it, we will. So many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf if we won't tell it, we will. Too many stories left to tell, even if we have to ourselves. Can keep history on the shelf if we won't tell it, we will.